I dropped out of high school when I was 14 years old. I started digging holes for 20 bucks a day. It's all I know. I met her in freshman year of high school, and I've been plumbing ever since.
I fell in love with working with him. I get to work with my best friend every day.
And there was a moment where I was sitting inside the client's home, and it was like, this is where I belong. It's one of the funnest things that I get to do is go figure out something that someone else can't figure out.
Jon is the chaos creator, and I'm the chaos controller.
When I come up with an idea, I act fast on it. Sometimes it doesn't work out, but most of the time, I would say 80% of the time, it works out in our favor.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Fifth Element Podcast. I'm Regan Weiss, along with Jordan Long, Jon Graham, and Jaimie Graham, the owners of Element. What's Element? They are a plumbing, heating, cooling, and electric company, and they are absolutely phenomenal, and we are going to be learning all about them. What is this podcast all about? Well, stay tuned because we're going to have Jon talk to you about that. So, Jon, we met out in California. We hit it off. You were a hit. Everyone said you were the most interesting man on the planet, not just in the room, in the planet. And when we found out that you were a business owner, that was awesome. But when we found out that you were a business owner with a phenomenal wife that's interested in helping and guiding and building this business along with you, we found out that you were a rock climber. We found out that you were a rock crawling guy. We found out that you rode dirt bikes. We found out that you were just the man and the legend, the most interesting man on the planet. We had to work with you, and we built a relationship, we built a rapport, and here we are now with the podcast. You implemented everything you said you were going to do. You followed through, but why did you want to do this podcast, and why did you want to collaborate?
Man, when I first met you guys, and I think I told Jordan this in the beginning, I was like, who are these guys? They're going to try to sell me something. I think I even said that to you right in the very beginning. I'm like, what are you here to sell?
Yeah, you didn't say, "Hi, my name is Jon. What's your name?" You go, "Who are you guys? What are you trying to sell me?" And it kind of made me sad.
Yeah. Yeah. So my first impression was like, oh man, Sean Crane's bringing in some people to try to sell us hard on something. And you guys didn't have to do much selling. Like, you guys were fully transparent people, down to earth. You guys care about people. We didn't even get into business until we got through all that kind of stuff. It was a pretty deep weekend. It was fun. And yeah, the podcast thing, I don't know. You were on my butt about quite a few things during the beginning with I don't know, this whole interesting guy thing. I've never wanted to be the face of the business. I've never wanted to. I just want the business to grow. I want to keep doing good things with the business. I never wanted to be the face of it. My wife never wanted to be the face of it.
No.
And the dreadlocks is a story of a kind of, it's kind of a funny story. But the podcast, you guys just pushed me into it. You made me believe in it. I think I was doing videos for you guys on the way home when I was driving home.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like trying new things. I want to market. I want to show people who we are, what this business is all about, what we do, how we care about the community. We're a family-owned business, and yeah, just here to try new things and crush it.
So two things. One of the most important things you said out in Santa Barbara was that you truly did care about community. You cared about community advocacy, and you want to see other businesses grow. And that is right up our alley, and we meshed really well. The second thing that really impressed me is you immediately brought your wife into it, and she wasn't there. And every time we brought up an idea, or every time you brought up an idea, you're like, I'm going to run that past my wife. I'm going to talk to my wife. I'm going to talk to Jaimie. And you're like, I really want her to be involved. I will tell you, it's a rarity, Jon, and you are a rarity. I'm not tooting your horn. I don't have to. Whether you paid us or not to help set this up, I would have told you this. You're a rarity human being, and that's why I told you, I go, you're suppressing yourself. You're suppressing your wife. You guys could be so impactful in your community if you just showed people who you are and why you do the things you do. And I think that's why it's important to have this podcast as well. And then now to talk to your wife and build that relationship with her, be on the Zoom calls. I know exactly why Element is growing at leaps and bounds because you guys are a very strong team. And Jaimie, I would like to ask you, because your role, what do you see your role as in the company? And was that the original thing you thought was going to happen when this business started?
Why are you smiling already?
Because you're supposed to.
Because I already know what you're going to say.
Well, I mean, the joke was that Jon is the chaos creator and I'm the chaos controller. And so I think that was my initial role, was to just support Jon in everything. I feel like I joke I'm the non-playing character, and like this is the Jon Graham show, and it actually really works well for us. And so I'm just trying to support him and his vision, and build a team of amazing human beings and support our community.
That's a big thing. It's like I have this vision of what I want to do, how I want to grow, revenue goals we want to hit, locations, all these things, but I don't know how to do it. And my wife is the implementer of all of that. And so we have a very strong marriage. We've been married for 22 years. We met in high school. I dropped out of high school when I was 14 years old. I met her in freshman year of high school, and I've been plumbing ever since. And so I lived with her. I think I like to say 15 years old. I moved in with you, but she says it was a little bit later. Uh, she's been, even though I'm the one that's going to work, being in the trenches, the 20-hour days, the consistent grind, the 7 days a week, Christmases, Easters, my kids' birthdays, stuff like that. She knows what it takes to run a plumbing business. Just watching me grow up in the industry, she's been a part of it from day one. Even though she was going to college and doing her thing with teaching and stuff like that. So
Actually, let's talk about that. Because when we were on our Zoom call the other day, you went into the periodic table and so many other things that I just don't have the. I'm not cerebral enough for.
Reagan, remember we talked about valence,
Yes, we did.
electrons. We talked
did.
about boron.
We did.
As like the leftover periodic table person. I mean,
But let's talk about that because we brought up the fifth element for the podcast and then you just went off. So kind of tell everyone what your background is and
Sure.
go from there.
So a lot of it's tied to Jon. He was able to support my dreams when we were young. I right away went to college, have a couple of degrees. Jon paid for one of them.
I do have a master's as far as money goes.
Yeah, and I worked at the crime lab for a while. It wasn't for me. We had our son, and I just wanted a different lifestyle, something that was more conducive to being a mom. So ended up being a chemistry teacher. Loved it. Taught for almost 20 years. And then every summer, I would spend more and more time working with Jon. A lot of teacher skills are pretty transferable, and we worked well. Jon would have ideas, and I could make them accessible. That's what teachers do, right? We make
Started
content.
off by making them pretty. Like I would have this idea, and she would put it on a piece of paper with colors and all these things, and I'd be like, "Yeah, that's it right there." So
Yeah, he thought it was somewhat wizardly. Like, oh, you could do that? So, yes, well, like, that's what I do. That is my job, is to make content accessible for everybody. And then I think I fell in love with working with him. I get to work with my best friend every day. It doesn't end, right? We start the morning with coffee talking about work, and we end our day talking about what happened. And I think that I'm where I need to be right now.
That's awesome.
and not only that, but like our hobbies, everything we do is together. Like whether it's climbing, she's my safety partner, catching me if I fall. We've skateboarded together. That's part of where the name Element comes from, along with the chemistry teaching. Uh, I mean, if we do something, it's usually together. We hate being apart, and that's pretty rare
Yes, it is.
in today's age as well.
It's refreshing.
yeah.
to
Tell
hear.
tell us what it's like. So Jet, he works in your company, your son.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does he do, and what's that like? Just seeing the next generation come up with Element.
I'm stoked to have my son working in this field. He worked with us from like 14 years old on. He would work the summers when he wasn't going to school, all that kind of stuff. And he, I think he's going to be a big piece of taking this business to the next level. He is a very, very old soul. He's a different kid in my eyes. I know everybody, talks highly about their kids for the most part, but he had some very good ideas. And then we let him go flying when he was 17th birthday, I think it was. We took him, got him a flight lesson or something like that. And he got off the airplane. It was like that same day, I think he was like, I'm not working for the business. I'm going to go fly airplanes. I'm going to do that for a living. And I was like, man, this sucks. And then he went to school and got a degree, and then said, hey, can I work back in the business? I think I want to jump out and start off dispatching, that kind of stuff for our Jackson Hole location. He is crushing it. He's doing a very, very good job. He is exceeding my expectations with everything, and I'm very, very happy to have him on our team. Jaimie is teaching him a lot with Service Titan, back end stuff. I mean, technicians just as well as I do. So it's a blessing to be able to work with my son. It's also hard. Like me and my wife, we wake up in the morning, we start talking about, we have coffee and start talking about work, and we talk about work until we go to bed by like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and we talk about work until nighttime. Now you got my son jumping in the mix with phone calls and all these questions and stuff, and so it's not hard to balance. It's actually pretty easy. Got pretty lucky, but it's a lot of, it's cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a unique dynamic,
Yeah.
for sure. And obviously, he comes from good stock, and that's why he's a hard worker and doing what he's going to be doing for this company. I look forward to seeing the future. I do want to say this too. I've recognized really quickly, being here, talking to Amy with marketing and talking to your other staff members, and I've had a few moments with your dispatchers up front. The dynamic here is pretty awesome, and to hear them talking about both of you the way they
So
do,
rare.
I will tell you, it's rare. I'm being Jordan and I are blessed to be with multiple, HVAC companies, plumbing companies, electric, all over the country. You don't hear that from their employees. You don't hear how you're very well respected, and the fact that they adapt to your energy, and that's a big deal. And for them to see, like, hey, you're a spur of the moment guy, but you're an implementer and you get stuff done, they respect you. And that's more important than anything on the planet, that your employees respect you, and and you're pulling along with them, because it sounds like you're still out in the trenches sometimes, and you don't have to be.
I haven't been for quite some time, but I was actually up in Jackson, I don't know, a month ago or so, and I went out in the field and had some really good success with technicians out in the field. And there was a moment where I was sitting inside the client's home, and it was like, this is where, this is me. This is where I belong. You know what I mean? Is inside the client's home. Business is something I'm learning as we go. It's a lot harder than being a technician in the field. Everybody wants to own a business. Everybody wants to be the boss. Everybody wants to do this until it's time to do business stuff. And man, it's hard to be able to take that home. And so having a wife like this is super important. But yeah, being in the trenches it's my passion. It's what I've done since I was 14 years old. I started digging holes for $20 a day when I was 14, and it's all I know. You know what I mean? And so I've learned to adapt and talk to clients, and diagnosing's a huge. It's one of the funnest things that I get to do, is go figure out something that someone else can't figure out, and provide options to the client to take care of those issues. So yeah, it's pretty fun.
It's truly service. Like, we are in a service industry. That word is key. I feel like we try to do our best to serve our external clients, like our community. Nobody wants to call a plumber for fun. That's not fun money. It's not a fun experience when your plumbing is impacted. It affects your family and your life, and HVAC and electrical, everything to go with it. But it's also about serving our team. There are internal clients, and I want to try to always be thinking about them in the same ways that we think about the customers, clients that we're serving outside. They're important. They are a priority. That idea of like human capital, they're why we're here just as much. And it does feel very family. I mean, half of us are together, and I try to like keep that mindset of like we are a family vibe, but also we're a team. Like, we have specific roles, we're functional, we're here to do a job, we're here to elevate the game. And I think even going back to the external, like the community, the service industry in itself, wherever we go, I want to elevate service. I want your grandma to be taken care of more, because they know what kind of service we're going to provide, and to know that you can count on us and we stand behind our work and our technicians are trained. Wherever we go, whether a competitor arrives, if we elevate the game, then it's a win for everybody.
Yeah.
What Jordan brought up, and this is something that we talk about in private, obviously, and we talk about all our different companies, is the fact that you have this presence of like obviously you're getting to be a large company because you're growing, but you truly are a mom and pop. You were talking about that. Why don't you talk on that? A little
Yeah,
bit
yeah. The thing that kept coming to our mind with you guys once we got to know you more was servant leadership. And where you truly you want to lead, obviously from the front, but you're doing that in a position of humility. And I just was really impressed. Reagan was really impressed with. I mean, you guys aren't beating your chest. You kept talking about how being a technician was easy and growing a business was hard. Tell us that journey. You know where you started, which location, and then how you kept adding more and more to that.
I have just a goal that I want to hit. It's just a personal goal that I put out on October 12th, 2022. I wrote it down, and so it's kind of like one of those things of like whatever it takes to get there. Um, you'll always hear me say, I don't know what I'm doing. Like I'm just gonna figure it out along the way, and I'm not sure that's even the right way to say things, but like I truly don't. You know what I mean? I just see opportunity, like this room. You know what I mean? Like I'm a doer, and so when I come up with an idea, I act fast on it. Sometimes it doesn't work out, but most of the time, I would say 80% of the time, it works out in our favor, and we just keep doing. And now we're in 5 states, and we're doing pretty well.
We
Yeah.
call that speed of implementation, and it's the quicker we talked about with a few podcast people today. The quicker you implement something, the better to success or the better to fail. Either which way, at least you're started on your path to do something. And like I said, it is pretty impressive. But to touch on what I was trying to get to as well, Jordan, is that they aren't this ginormous franchise that they bought into. They created this from scratch, and it is still them working the game. Like it's pretty awesome. It's
Yeah.
pretty awesome to see.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell from your team. I mean, you're not a franchise. And that was something very, very important to you guys is create something local, have local ties, support local sports teams. I don't know if the other different organizations you guys are a part of as well. Talk about how you guys are implementing yourself into the local culture and how that helps grow your business.
Well, we are trying to, and this will grow as we can. Amy's been helping out, but we do believe in nonprofits. So starting in October, we're gonna donate $25 from every completed job to a local nonprofit. So we have some contacts in Utah and Wyoming to keep that going. So we've done other things in the past. We had like a Teton interagency, which was supported the mental health of first responders. That was something that we got to be a part of, and just different things, different nonprofits. Our daughter is a pretty stellar athlete, so sponsoring the wrestling team. Like we are local. I know some people will say, well, how can you be local in 3 different areas? Well, our son is running Jackson. Like we're here in Utah. Our daughter goes to school here. Like we are part of this community. We're here to see it grow and succeed.
Love it. One of the things that you touched on today with a couple of individuals that were here at your office is that even if they're in the same industry, you're willing to train and coach them. Like that was pretty awesome to see. Even people in different industries, contractors, etc. Like, I will help you. I will help give you my resources. That's an abundance mindset. Most people don't have that mindset. And here you are saying, okay, I have this cup of stuff I'm going to give you. You're either going to drink it and or you're going to spill it. And actually, a friend of mine actually just said that to me the other day, and her name is Chris Blankenship, and she runs a $100 million a year plumbing company, HVAC company, with her husband in Tampa, Florida. And we were having this discussion about growth and how to get there and how to scale. You're doing all of these things, but no one told you how to do it. you're saying, I don't know what I'm doing. But the truth is you do. You're setting the template for everyone else to follow. Look at this room. Look what you've done. Look how your staff treats you. You both undervalue yourself. And I told you that in Santa Barbara. You undervalue yourself.
Well, and we're watching other people out there, so it's like
Right.
a lot of this isn't my ideas. There's a saying that I've heard. I think it was Ishmael Valdez or one of those guys was saying like, competition happens at the bottom, collaboration happens at the top.
Yeah.
And so by inviting people into the room, whether it's the same industry or not, I'm learning. If I can take away one nugget from everybody's brain and implement that, it man, like it's gonna be huge. You know what I mean? Just everybody's doing something smart out there, and like even when we go to networking events or coachings or something like that, I'm looking for one nugget. So I might sit through 3 days of coaching or something like that. If one word inside there is something that I can take back, and I learn from a lot of other business people. So
Yeah. Well, we just feel like this whole meeting of us together, not to get over sensationalized, but I feel like it was ordained. I think it was an amazing opportunity, it's a blessing to meet you guys both, meet your team, come out here. We've known each other for a few months now, but very excited for just that long-term relationship that we have. Seriously, very honored to have just that little piece of your story. We cannot wait to watch you guys have more states, more locations, watch your family grow together, add more team members, keep blessing local communities, the local nonprofits. We're just really proud of you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's awesome to see, and be excited, everybody, because you have the opportunity to be on this podcast with them. But at the end of the day, you have this opportunity. So if you want to be a part of this podcast, if you want to come and get interviewed, and if you want to learn from the best in the business, then it's your time to get to the fifth element. So if you want to be involved, if you want to know how to get involved, reach out to them on Facebook, reach out to them on Messenger, get a hold of Amy, and if you have the capability to get here. I promise you're not going to regret
and
it.
this is for anybody in the community. It's
Yeah.
not just for plumbing,
Thank
HVAC,
you.
electrical,
Perfect.
landscape, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's a hair salon, ice cream parlor, whoever it is. Like if you're trying to build within the community, I want to help you. I want you to help me. Let's use each other to build and put our names out in the community.
Or just awesome things. Like, I think that our world needs more awesome things. So if you have something that's going on in our community that inspires others or is just awesome, like,
Let's know about
that's
it.
that's the
Let's
news.
be awesome together.
That's the good news right there.
Yeah. Collaboration wins, everyone. The fifth element. We'll see you soon.